All right, today is the last day you could sign up for the minimalism course until an undisclosed time in the future. It's undisclosed because, well, I couldn't even disclose it if I wanted to disclose it because I don't know when I'm going to offer it in the future. Usually I try to offer it once a month. That's if I can remember to do so. I have been busy, obviously, with things. And one thing I should have brought it down. I was going to tell you guys a story about my Taver X95, which is a bullpup semi-automatic rifle that the Israelis use. I like it again because I'm a shorter, smaller guy, and bullpups are good because I don't have the arm length, whereas AR-15s have an adjustable stock. Anyway, even though I'm, Mr. Minimalism himself, you can say I afford one or two nice things I've collected over the years. I think two of the paintings in the background are donated. The pilot above me, my head, I remember cutting that out of a stock magazine photo when I worked security downtown Minneapolis. And there was a large company that still exists, like a PR marketing company, and they had these stock. I just cut that out and framed it because I thought it was pretty cool. Um, and so that a lot of that has been with me, but I got my Taver X95. And a lesson I should have known, I just should have known that when you buy stuff that you need, like, okay, Aaron, do you really need that? Yeah, I do. To hunt animals and defend my house. Yes, it is a tool. People are like, well, if you're really a minimalist, you give up your guns. No, you wouldn't. I mean, if you're one of these morons that collect I knew a guy who had 600 guns one time. Like, okay, dude, you can only fire one at a time. And I have like 5 guns for 5 very different and unique purposes: hunting, self-defense, pistol, things like that. But my go-to for defending the house, hunting, defense, attack, in case someone gets stupid, and there ain't no cops no more, is my Taver. And you don't want to be dicking around carrying different weapons. They weigh a lot, and you got to carry different ammo. And so I try to make this one weapon as versatile and useful in as many situations as possible. And one of the things that if you just start shooting guns is you'll start with the iron. Well, you won't even have iron sights. To be honest, it depends if you got it or not. But you should have iron sights, meaning it's the actual sights, made of iron. It's a fixed sight. Then if you get a little bit of money, like, okay, man, I'm going to buy a red dot scope. A lot of people say you just do that for looks. Yes, you do that for looks, but it also helps. I think it's better because there's one dot as opposed to you have to align the sights, and one has to be painted at the end. So I think a red dot or ACOG scope is an improvement, but it isn't magnified. And if you're like me, you don't have the world's greatest. I got pretty good vision, but the rifle is way more effective at longer ranges than what I can see. And since the red dot scope doesn't magnify anything, it's just got that little red dot. You could shoot up to 100 or so yards, and you could shoot 500 yards if you could see the bleeping target at 500 yards away, which I cannot. So then what I did is like, okay, I get a red dot scope. What if the batteries go down? Because that's charged off a little battery, little watch battery. I have flip up iron sights. So I got that back up. Say, okay, I have a weapon that is capable of 500 yards. My current optics only get me good to about 100 with my right eye vision pretty Get a flip scope. And so what you could do is get a flip scope that goes on top of the gun, and you flip it off to the right side. All right. And then you can see it one time, and you flip it. It goes right up against the red dot, 3 times magnification. Now you're shooting at 300 to 500 yards, and you can see what you're hitting. You would think that'd be easy. I get the red dot scope on top, flip sights right there. All you got to do is get a flip scope, the 3-time magnifier scope, flip it up, line it up. Get the bolts put on the railing, we're good to go. Comes in the package. I attach it, flip it over, it's too short. Because the red dot scope, which I did not install, a friend of mine says, I'll get you. Put it on, it's higher. So the optical scope does not line up with the red dot. I got to bump it up. I find in the package a little riser. I say, here it is. Now the riser requires 2 bolts. You see already? You see where stuff does not help. Even tools, even things that you are going to use is now consuming an inordinate amount of your time and mental resources, right? right? Should be able oh, by the way, the scope, the flip scope, you need an Allen wrench. I thought it was hand adjusted because I always carry Allen wrenches with every gun I get, right? And in war, you're gonna have time to suss out that black Allen wrench in the dark and try and, take off the thing anyway. Um, there's a riser bar, all right? And there was a screw that you put onto the scope to anchor the riser bar to give it a little bit of lift, but there were 2 holes. There was missing a screw because of course you were. Because of course. And so I had to go down to Ace Hardware, not losing that very important singular screw to make sure I had the right thread, the right length, and what should have been like maybe a 3-minute, okay, I got to move down the red dot a little bit, get a little real estate for the flip scope, ended up becoming an hour and a half process. And that's something you need. That I would say you need a defensive weapon. Something that multi-tool defensive. You need a primary gun. And this was instead of buying rifles, multiple weapons, I'm gonna take 1 and turn it into 3. Short, medium, and long range, or medium long. I cannot imagine what it's like having all the toys in the world, like a boat. Right, okay, it's springtime, I gotta fire up all the small engine stuff like my weed whacker and my lawnmower, which I'm switching to electric, by the way. I got my electric solar panels out there. Not solar panels on the house, I bought a Jackery emergency one, but the solar panels will charge. So I'm like, I'm not there's less oil. Well, there's no oil. There's no gas. It's electric. You just get a new battery. Boom, you're off to the races. You're ready to go. But a lot of you are springtime firing up your engines. It's more maintenance. Those are the tools. You need those. Chainsaw. Oh, is a chainsaw fickle? You gotta sharpen the blades. You gotta sharpen the chain. You gotta make sure it's clean and running on the right mixture of gas and oil. These are tools. I don't know about you, but I don't have that much free time in my life, and I'm already have an inordinate amount of it taken up with just basic house maintenance and maintaining the tools I have. You guys with boats and four-wheelers and RVs and an RV, you got get the toilet pumped out. You gotta hook up. You gotta get electrical hookup. Mom, Pa, driving across America. That like, no. No, and it just reminded me where it's like, if the more stuff you buy, the more you're enslaving yourself away to the time to maintain it. Because, yeah, there's the price you pay. I always say you pay it 3 times. You pay the price, you pay to store it, you pay to get rid of it. Arguably 4 if you finance it, then you pay money to the bank. But then there's also the time, I would say there's a 5th price we could argue is maintaining the darn thing. And man, if there's an argument, like my Star Wars arcade game, for whatever reason, it ain't working now. Do you think that there's reliable, competent electricians out here in South Dakota that would fix that? Absolutely not. That's like never getting fixed. I don't think. I don't think it's ever getting fixed. And it just reminded me, like, I want a life of enjoyment and fun and no headache. No headache. And you're going to have to incur because you have to own some assets to survive. You have to own some. And they're already going to provide a maintenance liability, a lifelong maintenance liability, storage, acquisition, liquidation, and maintenance throughout your life. But if you could just cut away all the crap, you cut all this maintenance and everything away too. So whereas I dearly love my Taver X95, 95X, I'm just like, man, and I'm coming rapidly where there's no chores left to do. There's nothing else. No more capital assets on Cappy's capital asset list has to be maintained. No more additions or anything like that. All the guns either have the right scoping or they got the right ride. They got the right flips. Everything. Everything is going to be done. And I ain't buying anything else. I'm not getting another thing unless I need it to live, of course. But there you go. All you guys got your sports car that has that really fickle gas. All you guys get, even my motorcycle. That is arguably a frivolous purchase, but it needs maintenance. If you could just get away from this stuff, no matter how small it might be. Your life is gonna be better. Anyway, to help you see, I don't know, just dealing with this stuff naturally purges my desire to want more things. Like, my materialism was originally cured when I realized I don't need all this stuff. I don't need what's over at whatever Spencer's Gift or the Sharper Image. Now, as an older man who's like, you don't want any stuff. Oh, the girlfriend has all of her stuff, all of it in boxes. Like, we get to go through that and throw so much crap away. Because if you don't, you're out of here. Because my house is going to have no crap, none. The crapless house. That's my goal. That's my dream. But if you would like to have the crapless house, if you would like to avoid the pain and agony of maintaining things that you shouldn't have been buying in the first place, if you have a problem with materialism, you can't wait till you're an old man and say, man, I don't want any more stuff because I know what it's all about. You want to get your finances together, take the minimalism course. Achieving Minimalism, Theory and Practice. It's linked below. It'll be open for another, oh, look at that, 12 hours. It'll be open till midnight. It's noon here now. It'll be open another 12 hours. There's a sister or companion course that is shorter. You may be interested in that. That's called Achieving Financial Excellence, the Most Direct Path to Wealth. That is a much shorter one and not as deep dive, and it talks about a completely different topic, though somewhat related. You can take that one too. That will be open for enrollment because it's always open. But the minimalism course will be closing. And that's it. Oh, the minimalism course, by the way, is $450 plus tax. What? Shut up. You spend way more money on stupid crap. You're the one with the spending problem. I'm giving you the solution. Besides, as I always say before, if I charge $20, you guys wouldn't. I'd find I'd have more enrollments and ain't none of you follow it. So now it's time. Now it's time to be serious. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Well, now it's time. Put up your money. Then you'll owe it to yourself. Like, I spent $500 on that course. Better do something with it. There we go. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodles.